I'd like to say a special welcome this afternoon to the Honorable Mr. Vance Emery, the Premier, Mr. Kenneth Harvey, Project Officer of the City CS Network, Mrs. Estanella West, Director of Planning and Development, Mr. Osbert D'Souza, Project Officer, BNTF, and other BNTF representatives. Special recognition, special welcome is also given to the facilitators, especially Mrs. Hamilton, who is present with us, and Mrs. Hope. Today marks the conclusion of 3 unique workshops. They were held in basketry, batik and tie-dye, and in jewelry making. We are here to congratulate all of the facilitators who have made their precious time available to the people of Nevis, and of course the participants who have done a splendid job, as you can see, learning the valuable skills. Again, I'd like to say welcome to everybody, and I hope you will enjoy the short ceremony and then afterwards take some time to look at the fabulous display that we have here this afternoon. The next item on our agenda are some remarks by Mr. Osbert D'Souza, Projects Officer, Basic Needs Trust Fund.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, I did not expect that I would have had to speak first, but since the buck has fallen to me, I guess I shall stand up like a man and not back down. Honorable Premier, Mr. Vance Emery, the Director of the Planning Unit, Ms. West, Mr. Harvey, invited guests, participants, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I'm exceedingly pleased this afternoon to be associated with this closing ceremony and to be associated with the workshop in general. In St. Kitts, we have done, and in Nevis of course, we have done much more projects than what people are aware of. But what we publicize most in St. Kitts is the construction of roads, because that is what affects people mostly. We have done work on health centers in St. Kitts and in Nevis. We have done work on schools in St. Kitts, and we are about to do some work at the Gingerland Secondary School here in Nevis. The Basic Needs Trust Fund project is a project that was designed by the Caribbean Development Bank with the aim of alleviating poverty in the participating countries, of which St. Kitts and Nevis are one. We at BNTF have tried over the past few months to get a skills training program on the way. Mr. Harvey is here, and he could tell you that sometime in St. Kitts we had an opening ceremony for one, and there seems not to have been any follow-up to that. So I am extremely glad that this one in Nevis started, and today is concluding with this closing ceremony. I would like to thank all the members who participated in the workshops, the basketry, the tie-dye, and the jewelry. I would also like to thank the consultants, 2 of whom have already left, and we still have Mrs. Hope here with us. We hope that she and the other 2 take back fond memories of St. Kitts and Nevis as they return home. Some week ago, I visited Nevis to see what was happening with regards to this workshop. And I must say that I was extremely pleased with what I saw. I even discussed with some of the participants at the tie-dye and the batik workshop that at its conclusion, maybe it might be a very good idea if they can try to remain together and even first start do produce things like pillowcases, cushion covers, and the like for the local market. I am sure that you would agree with me that the exhibits that we are seeing here today are very impressive. And Mr. Harvey would tell you that CTCS hopes that these things are not done on an ad hoc basis, but with the hope that the participants would be willing to continue to use their skill to generate some extra income for themselves, and if needs be, to create employment for others. So I would like to say, as it bears repeating, that I hope that this closing ceremony is not the end of this skills training workshop. I know that some of the participants, particularly for the jewelry, are young folks. I understand most of them, at least, are still in school. But that doesn't mean that the planning unit, the ministry responsible for this particular project in Nevis would not see it fit to try and keep these young folks together so that they can go from strength to strength in the development of their skills. When I came up here this afternoon and I saw some of the basketry, I actually did not expect what I saw. When I came last week and I visited the craft house, they were, a week before, sorry, they were just starting to make some of, I think, those baskets there with the yellow ribbon around it. I had no idea they were going to be painted, so I assumed that when we come for the closing ceremony, we'll just see them as they are. You would agree with me that not only the tie-dye and the batik, but the basketry is very impressive. I looked at some of the young kids as they did some of the jewelry, as you can see there, and I must say that we at BNTF hope that if we can offer any further assistance to ensure that the participants of these, this workshop stay together, please do not hesitate to contact us, and we will definitely make our services available. Basically, that is all that I want to say, and since we have the director of the planning unit and the Honorable Premier here, I hope that some effort is made to ensure that the skills learned do not just die out at the end of this closing ceremony. Thank you very much.
We'd like to thank Mr. D'Souza for his remarks, and now we have Mr. Kenneth Harvey of the CTCS.
Good afternoon to all of you. Honorable Premier, members, especially invited guests, participants, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Caribbean Development Bank, I'd like to thank the government of St. Kitts and Nevis, the Premier's office, and staff of the Department of Planning and Development for inviting CDB's CTCS network to participate in a very worthwhile exercise of skills training. I noticed that some of you have difficulty getting the CTCS correct, and one of the actual spell out the name, and one of my recommendations will be that we change the name in the future. Shorten it. As said before by Mr. D'Souza, 3 workshops were conducted in skills training, and we used resource persons drawn from the CTCS network. One was drawn from Jamaica, Mrs. Hamilton. We had a Mr. Nera, who was originally from Colombia but resides in Barbados, and Mrs. Margaret Hope, who did basketry from Barbados. Mr. Nera